This is First Step.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today is March. Oh, man, I don't know what day it is. It's Thursday, March 15th, 13th, 14th. It's 14th. It's the 14th.
Computer guy coming.
Guys, we have a computer guy, dude. We have a computer guy.
We officially have a computer guy.
Oof, what a game changer. In front of me, as always, Daytona Beach's 2024 Wet T-shirt contest winner, Javi.
I was runner-up. First of all, I was runner-up.
I know, but listen, it's the effort that counts.
Sure.
It's the effort that counts. Also, with us for the very first time, Skippy, introduce yourself.
Hi.
Jesus. Oh, jeez, Louise.
What an introduction.
Skippy, Skippy the camera guy.
Skippy the camera guy coming in hot.
Skippy the camera guy. It's computer guy. We call him the camera guy. It's the computer guy.
guy.
Yeah, we're both off. Skip, welcome to First Step, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh boy, Hav. Let's get into it, dude. Let's dive straight in. NBA. Talk to me.
I'm losing everything on the Heat right now.
The Heat are straight up garbage. But before we get into the Heat, I want to talk about other teams because we've gotten complaints that we only talk about Heat, and it's true.
Fine.
It's true. Denver, Boston, they played. Could we talk about how much better Denver is than anybody else in the NBA? There's nobody that's going to beat Denver in the finals right now. Nobody's going to beat Denver. I'm going to say it right now. They're going to the finals.
Think so?
Who's going to take Denver out in 7 games?
No one.
Nobody.
Miami.
Ugh.
Bam, baby. He's gonna shut down. He's gonna shut him down.
Don't get me started with the Bam talk already. We're not even 5 minutes into this podcast. I don't want to start losing steam. I don't want to start. My blood pressure is still high.
Start believing. This won't be a problem. You start believing, and this won't be a problem.
Okay, sure. So yeah, man, Joker is the best in the league, and there's not a team in the NBA that has an answer for him. If I was putting all my money on something, I would say Denver takes the NBA Finals.
Against who, though?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Who gives a crap?
I know, but let's go through this
Let's go through
exercise.
it. You got
You're
Boston.
saying they're
You
gonna
got
take
Boston.
You're saying they're going to take the NBA
All right,
Finals.
you got Boston.
Against
Who goes against? Who defends Joker in Boston? Al Horford, Porzingis.
No,
Who? Tatum.
I don't even think Boston makes the finals.
Yeah, I know because you're such a Heat fan.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can get past the Heat.
I just don't think it. There's nobody on the East that could take Denver.
Look, fine.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they win 2 games, 3 games. I'll give you 3 games, but they're not going to win 4 out of 7.
Look, they're the favorites. I think they're a tough beat.
I think they're
There's
a tough
no way
beat.
around it.
I think they're a tough beat, but they're not even beatable at this point. Boston is a tough beat. They're beatable. Denver's not.
Sure.
You know what I mean? On the East, Milwaukee, talk about beatable. They don't play defense.
Doc Rivers, baby.
That's how Doc Rivers' gameplay, man. There's no defense there. Dame comes out every now and then. Giannis is all right, but no one's playing any defense. And right now, the league's trend is they're not calling the fouls that they used to. So the game's gotten more physical. And for teams like Milwaukee, that's going to be a problem.
You think Dame regrets going to Milwaukee?
Like he should have been a Heat player is what you're saying?
We all know he wanted to. It's not his fault he didn't come to Miami.
Yeah, I don't know if he regrets.
Computer guy says yes, he does.
When Damian Lillard says that all he does is play video games and go to practice, that sounds pretty fucking miserable. So yeah, he regrets it.
I think that sounds a phenomenal time.
I mean,
video games.
listen,
in
I'll give
practice.
it to Skippy.
He's away from his kids. His kids are across the country.
Wait, they're not. I didn't know this. They're not
with
in.
him.
Nobody,
not with him.
nobody wants to be in Milwaukee.
They're not with him, and he's going through a divorce at the same time.
Is he really?
Yes, and it's apparently an ugly divorce. He's pretty miserable right now in
I
Milwaukee.
mean, he's not playing awful, but yes.
Yeah, 'cause Dame balls, baby.
He doesn't play defense, but he's playing offense.
Ballers don't play defense.
Shoot.
I don't think that he balls out when Giannis is there.
When Giannis is playing, he
I
steps
think it's
back.
one or the other.
Well, I think they're going through a little bit of what we saw with the big three the first year when we had Wade and LeBron. They were both very ball dominant. They had to figure out how to play with each other, what roles to go through. I think Milwaukee, you have 2 players that are the same in the fact that they're used to always having the ball in their hand. They're going through the same pains. They got to figure out how to coexist, how to play. There's only one ball on the court.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's that, and we talked about it before. There's that leeway that these big teams have when two superstar players come in, one of them's gonna have to take a step back. Dame, I think, is taking that step back. He just doesn't play defense.
Yeah,
which I don't see a team that doesn't play defense winning a championship, and I don't see a team that doesn't play defense beating Boston, beating the Heat.
If he would have come to Miami, you think that whole defense thing would have changed?
No.
Do you think he would have?
Yes.
No, I disagree.
No.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
No.
No.
I completely disagree with you.
Let the computer guy go. Go. Tell us why. Why do you think?
First of all, yes, they are going through a transition. Everybody goes through that. The big three went through it. The difference here is that the big three, Dwayne, LeBron, Chris Bosh, they all still play defense in the meantime. And Dame just doesn't play defense. He would have played defense here because
Why would he play defense here?
because that's all we do here. Actually, that's really what he culture is.
But I don't think he can play defense.
I think he can.
I think if he could play defense, he would play defense.
I just think he
he's
doesn't-
good enough to do that guy's
Yeah.
good enough to do whatever he
com-
wants.
exactly.
When he if he
You're saying
decides he wants.
you're saying they could coach him to play defense.
Correct. Damian Lillard is probably about the same size as Terry Rozier, and Terry Rozier has already improved on defense here in the 2
But
weeks.
Terry Rozier
1
was
month.
playing defense.
He does play defense.
He does
but he's
play
playing
defense.
better defense now.
Sure.
I have a question. This is just something. I mean, you guys would know. You're bigger NBA guys than I am. When Lillard was in Portland, did he play defense there? Is he like historically?
he's not a
okay,
defensive
but
player.
is he known as a? There's a difference between all right, like people like Duncan Robinson. Like he tries. He's just not good at defense. There's a difference.
I think
You know what I mean? Whereas like James Harden doesn't try to play defense.
doesn't play defense.
Whether he's good at it or not, he doesn't try. Is it a Lillard can play defense? Like he knows how to defend. He can, if he decides to, he can help shut a guy down, or is it more just like he just doesn't?
I
try?
think a huge factor is also how dependent your team is on you on offense. I think that takes that's a big factor. Like
a lot of your energy spent on the other side of the floor.
Exactly. So I think he understands that all of his energy needs to go into offense.
That's why it was in Portland. It doesn't necessarily need to be
Correct.
like that in Milwaukee anymore.
But Milwaukee is worse in defense now than they've ever had been.
I think the problem with Milwaukee is that Giannis plays hard, but the surrounding players,
Correct.
the auxiliary players aren't necessarily defensive.
Their front court
players.
is fine. Their front court, they have Giannis and they have Robert Lopez. It's the backcourt. The
Yeah.
backcourt is they probably only have.
They're a
Bobby
bunch. They're a
Portis.
bunch of dames. They're a bunch of
Yes.
shooters. They're a bunch of
Yes.
shooters.
Yes.
So nobody plays defense. They don't have a Rozier. They don't have these guys that are like known for their cover.
I like having Skip with the NBA stuff.
Yeah, Skip's a great NBA guy.
Yeah. And the team is coached by Doc Rivers.
I've railed on Doc Rivers plenty. Don't
Doc
get me
Rivers got
started on
railed,
Doc.
baby.
We've done it like 3 podcasts already. Just crushed. it.
Another team in the East that I like is, surprisingly, the Magic have been playing really well.
Yeah, but no, they're too young.
They're
But
not
they're still,
yet.
but right now in season they're doing
And
really well.
just to let you know, going back on what you were talking about, there is a person in the East who can stop Joker, but he's just hurt right now, and that's
Oh, Embiid.
That's the only person
Sure.
who can.
Yeah,
stop.
But Embiid's not coming back. Let's
he's
be
not-
real.
No, he's
He
not.
might-
No, they already came out yesterday saying he's significantly behind schedule.
Oh, he's gone.
No,
He's not coming
He's
back.
not
He's
coming
not
back
coming
this
back.
year.
He's not coming
You don't have your franchise player that you're depending on for like the next 5 years come back early from
Yeah.
a knee injury like that, because we've already seen what happens when you rush that. You have to let that recover. It takes months. And
Yeah, let him sit in the back. He's fine.
Yeah. The 76ers will be a playing team and they'll be done in the first round.
They're sitting at number 7 right
Or
now.
no, I'm sorry. They
They're
won't even.
sitting. They might go out.
No, they're gonna go out in the play-in.
They'll probably
They're
get
gonna
out
go
in the
in the
play-in.
play-in. That's what I meant.
They're sitting number 7 right now. Orlando Magic doing well. Knicks also doing well. They're a little bit hurt right now. I think Brunson's out.
Yeah, my thing with these teams, like, okay, this is a betting podcast. From a betting standpoint, like, I'm not putting futures bets on any of these teams to win a championship.
There's one team you should put future bets on: the Denver Nuggets.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
But
it.
we're talking, okay,
Even
but
the
we're not
Heat-
talking about.
even the
I'll do
Heat.
it on the Heat. You can make a case for Boston. You can make a case for Milwaukee. But like Orlando, we know Orlando's not going anywhere.
No, I think the Pacers are doing really right now too.
I don't think they're good.
stepping
but
their game
they're
up.
not. These are good teams. I don't think they're like championship contending teams. They're
It's
not
that-
there yet.
No, they're right now. If you're talking the East, if you're not talking Boston, you're not talking about a championship team anywhere else. The Heat have it. They have the skills and they have the ability to. They're just not playing to that level
You
right now.
and your Heat hate is.
I'm
starting.
not
I'm gonna
hating.
flip
I'm
this
being
table.
realistic. Right now, they lost to the fucking Washington Wizards.
Okay, I understand that, and they've been super inconsistent. Washington loss was a disaster, inexcusable. But my point is that this team all right, has done this every single year, right? And then we see them, playoff time comes around, they get it together, they're a 7th or 8th seed, floundering, and then all of a sudden playoffs start, playoff Jimmy shows up, boom.
Okay,
First
playoff-
2 rounds, we
playoff
take
Jimmy.
care of business, and we'll see the Celtics.
We're 1 month away
In the
from
East.
the playoffs. We have 1 month worth of games. We're sitting on the 8th seed right now. We're most likely not going to get any home court advantage if we don't start winning games.
We didn't need it last year.
We're going to need it this year.
Why?
Because every team that played in the playoffs last year has gotten better. It's not the same. It's not the same teams that we're playing against last year. Every team that we played against is a better team this year than they were last year.
Because they all need to try and beat the Heat.
Okay, but we didn't get that much better, or better at all. Honestly,
I'm not too concerned about any team in the East, to be honest with you, because look, the East is full of a bunch of talented teams and young teams like Orlando, Indiana. Those teams are up and coming. New York. However, all of these teams are unproven. There's only one team that is proven in the East, and that's the Miami Heat. Because Boston, don't come at me saying that Boston is proven, because Jason Tatum, in the clutch, look at his numbers in the clutch.
That's what I've been saying.
But, however, the Heat still cannot beat the Denver Nuggets. Or pretty much, hold on. I would say we would have a very tough time against maybe the top 6 in the West. Those top 6,
Dude,
top 5.
The top 6 right now are not.
We just lost to 2 of them.
Right now it's OKC, Denver, Dallas,
OKC. By the way,
Minnesota.
do you guys see that
Clippers.
OKC could have the number 1 seed and have lottery picks next year?
Yeah, OKC's playing
And
SGA.
I think they should have MVP, by the way. They should have the MVP.
SGA? SGA is amazing, dude. The guy's averaging like 30-something points
I
a
get
game.
it, but
dude.
MVP.
Or Luka might win MVP, actually.
For Dallas, yeah. Yeah, he's playing really good. We're playing Denver right now. Today.
No, yeah.
We're playing
What are
Denver.
the-
No,
what
that
are
was
the-
yesterday. That was yesterday.
What are the MVP?
No, today at 7.
Question, what are the odds?
Oh, yes, on the mic. Yeah, on the podcast.
I actually have a betting question here. What are
Yeah.
the odds for SGA and Luka right now for MVP?
Oh,
Do we know?
That would know. That would be great. Stat guy?
SGA is like 165 and Luka was like at 500.
Ooh,
So,
plus 500.
yeah.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Or
pick.
like 450. So
Who's the favorite right now?
Joker.
It's Joker. That's what I figured.
To be fair, it's Joker's to lose. The guy's lights out.
Yeah.
is
And-
he at plus money or is it not? Is he that
Probably-
much of a favorite?
No,
it's
it's-
probably plus 100. If
No,
it's,
no, it's not a plus.
It's like minus.
Yeah.
So, it's
minus 165 or something like that.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
no, it's a bad
I'll tell
bet.
you right now.
I wouldn't bet that. Just because the odds are, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
I was gonna bet Luka.
I don't hate the Luka.
Luka's a good. Luka's a great bet.
I love Luka.
I like Luka too.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I'm a
he's.
huge
I think
fan.
he's. I think if I was
I would
starting
love
an
him in the
NBA
Heat.
team right now,
But
give
I-
me Luka, dude. That guy's like a baller.
But I honestly think, yeah, like if it's between Luka and SGA, and OKC ends up getting the first seed,
It's gonna be SGA. If
They're
OKC
sitting,
keeps
they're
going
sitting
on
at
this
first seed
train,
right now. They're sitting at the first seed right now.
that's what I'm saying. They're just no one was expecting them.
so right now it is Joker negative minus 500. Joker's minus 500.
Yeah, see,
Awful odds are awful odds.
SGA
can't touch that.
is plus 210, and Luka's plus 500. So if you bet Luka right now,
I like Luka plus 500, plus 210. Sure, it's fine. Plus odds.
but Luka's a nice pick to be
Plus
honest with you.
500.
But OKC gets that first seed. Oh, it's
Yeah,
going to
I
SGA.
think. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think
right
it's got to
now-
go to SGA. If they stay in number 1, it's gonna.
No, and that guy is.
No, he's killing. He's talk about a season, man. He's playing. Dude, I don't think he's gonna have a similar season next season.
Dame who?
Yeah, I know. He really is playing really well.
Bro, that guy.
SGA, man, another good team in the,
The
West.
next Mario Chalmers, bro. That's the next
Hold
one.
on. Did I hear? Am I making this up? But did I hear SGA to the Heat in the future?
No,
Never heard that.
what
You never heard that in a day in your life.
I think in the future, we're gonna get the guy from Orlando.
Pablo.
Oh,
Because
Chero.
Mike Miller's his agent.
Okay.
And
Mike
best
Miller's his agent.
Yeah, and his
I didn't know Mike Miller was an
yeah,
agent.
Mike Miller had him since high school. He was playing high school in Memphis when Mike Miller was playing with the Grizzlies.
Okay.
And so he picked them up, or they formed a relationship during that time. And so now he's his agent. And who's Mike Miller's best friend? Udonis Haslem.
Beautiful.
So
They have the podcasting.
so I do see Pablo Banchero as a Heat in the future.
He's really good.
And then, of course, there's always connections and ties with Donovan Mitchell. There's always
Yeah, I've heard
connection.
that. I've heard that for a few years now.
It's
a couple years now.
It's at all
nothing's
this Heat
happened.
conversation hurts
Didn't he just
because
sign
every year.
He just Donovan Mitchell. Didn't he just get an extension?
No. I think he's a free agent.
No, it's Anthony Edwards. Sorry, Anthony Edwards.
Oh,
I
and
think so.
yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, but he just signed a big
Yeah, but
extension. He's locked in.
No, but Mitchell and Pablo Banchero could be here in the post Jimmy era. So still a few years away.
So 2 years away.
Yeah.
It's what Javi says are the BAM years. This is the dark times for the
Listen,
BAM. Let's jump in back into the West, the best conference in the NBA. Dude, I bet them a few times already, and it's worked out really well in my favor. The Pelicans. They're playing really well, dude. Zion is the truth. I know you can make fun of me, but he's actually really playing well, and they're going to the playoffs, dude.
What makes you say he's the truth, by the way?
He's very good. I like him.
That's but very good because what does he do?
He's just like big and lovable. I love him.
Big. Okay.
He's the anti-BAM in my book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are big words.
Yeah, he's the anti-BAM.
That means he's awful.
No, that means that he
doesn't do
He
anything.
has low work ethic.
Yeah.
He has low work ethic, but he is
Taco Bell.
tough. But he is tough.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. No, yeah.
Giant like a
if you're going up against him in the paint,
No.
you're gonna feel him.
Oh, that
That,
doesn't
that
mean.
has nothing to do with being tough.
Yeah, that has nothing to do.
Well, he's a presence.
I
He's
go
a
in the
big
paint. I
presence.
go in the paint with you. I'm gonna feel it. You're not tough.
Whoa, I'll take you out.
You're just yeah. You just
say it.
You're,
Say it on the. Say it on.
You're
Go
big.
ahead.
You're
say
big
it
and
with your
physical. It
chest.
doesn't make you. It doesn't make you tough. You're not tough.
Yeah,
you're just.
yeah.
You're.
Yeah.
You're a physical
Stop where
presence,
you're
but you're
at. Stop
soft.
where
You're
you're at.
soft. You're like a teddy bear.
I never wanted to hit you so bad in my life.
You're not tough. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Games coming up. Big games. We talked about Suns, Celtics. Not really part of it.
No.
Sixers, Bucks would have been super exciting if we had Joel Embiid.
No Embiid.
I'm still gonna give it.
And I
I'm gonna
don't.
give it to the
And
Bucks.
I don't bet Doc Rivers games. Anyway, so I'm saying
Why not?
They've already played, by the way.
No, they play on Thursday
No, but the Bucks they've already played. The Bucks already went to Philadelphia.
and they won.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
They won.
They did.
They won. He played the Pistons. There's not a lot of games that I like to bet on actually. Grizzlies, Thunder.
No.
You wouldn't bet the Thunder and the Grizzlies?
I mean, I don't bet NBA. I think it's all rigged for betting purposes.
And the odds of that that
Ooh,
game
the
was-
Nuggets, Spurs. What is Wemby gonna do against Joker?
Get bodied.
yeah, get pushed.
What are we talking about, dude? You just finished
one arm.
blowing
Yeah, but like,
Joker,
Wemby's so big.
and then you're like, oh, now Wem, get the fuck out of here, bro. When he was gonna get dominated by the best player in the NBA,
I want to
just
see what
like-
happens.
Okay,
So bet on Wemby's performance.
I don't know what they are.
No,
I don't know what the
guess.
odds are.
What would you say
don't know
Wemby
there.
does against Joker? How many points? How many rebounds?
I'd say Wemby gets 20 and 10.
That's actually low.
I'd say 20 and 10.
That's easy. That's a low. You low balled us. Okay.
I'm saying, what do I think? I'm saying 20 and 10.
No.
20 10,
you
5
think
assists.
Wemby gets 20 and 10 against Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Now, ask me what I think Joker gets.
There's no chance he gets that again
Ask me
with
what
Joker
gets.
defending him.
So let's go jump in straight into the NHL. This
Now we're
was
talking
trade line week. No, trade line. Listen to me.
trade
deadline week.
Week. Yeah,
So what are we thinking?
it was a big week. I think we had, at least from a betting standpoint, we had a lot of the top teams made
A lot of teams got better.
a lot of the big teams made moves to make a playoff run here. You saw basically every big team make a significant trade. You saw
Panthers signed up Okposo, Tarasenko, Hellberg. Lightning, they got that forward from.
all right, let's go one by one.
Let's go. Okay,
The Cats.
great pickups.
Tarasenko.
Tarasenko's coming in if he's been here his whole career. It's been beautiful.
Look, he's exactly what this team needed. Not that they needed another forward because they're probably the deepest team in the NHL, but just having him in there,
Just makes him better.
yeah, it just
And-
adds.
and
deep-
it
I mean,
adds
he's
appearance.
he's playing on the top line. He's a guy. He's already won a Stanley Cup with the
Didn't
Blues.
he play with this
He,
guy?
he won a Stanley Cup with St. Louis Blues, and then he was in Ottawa
Yeah, he was on the line with
with Brady Tkachuk.
Kachuk.
Yeah, no, look, he's a top 6 player for any team he goes on to. He's a top 2 line guy. Look, he's playing on the first line with Barkov and Reinhart.
Mm-hmm.
They look fantastic. It's a great piece. We also traded for Boso, who captain for the Sabres. You're bringing in
so
like
good.
just he's a bottom of the lineup guy, but he's the type of guy you want. You know, he's the type of vet you want
Mm-hmm.
for a big playoff run. And this team doesn't need much. We just added more depth.
We just added some depth.
We're
and a
rocking and
little bit
rolling.
of-
We're
yeah.
the favorites, plus 650 to win the cup. That's what our futures are at. We are
Take that all day.
they're just, We didn't make
re-signed
the,
Forsling,
we didn't
which
make the
is
biggest
huge.
moves, but we didn't need to make that many moves. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, we made Tarasenko's a huge get. Probably he's probably a top 3 or 4 free agent or name that was moved in the trade deadline. So
Yeah.
can't go wrong. The two teams that I mean, obviously, we can get into Vegas what they did.
We'll get into what
I mean,
Vegas
they
did was
clearly won the trade
ridiculous.
deadline. They are this
That's
team.
like cheating. I don't know who they had on their.
Listen,
on their,
they got Mark Stone. He was injured. We've seen plenty of teams do this before. We saw the Lightning do it a few years ago. The Vegas has done it a couple times already.
Mm-hmm.
They get a player like Mark Stone who's got a fat contract. He gets hurt. They put him on IR for the rest of the year, and that frees up because of the way the bargaining agreement works and the salary cap and all that. They basically don't have to count Mark Stone's salary cap and salary against their salary cap. He goes to IR, and now they have all this money to go and pick up 3-4 guys. Who'd they get? They got Mantha. They got this guy's name.
they signed Hurdle. They signed Hannafin.
And Hannafin, probably the biggest,
Big D.
biggest name going in, at least on the defensive side.
Yeah, he was a big get. You saw that Tampa Bay picked up Dumba. I don't know how I like that from the Coyotes.
It's all right. It's not. I don't think it's
I think he didn't play great this season. I don't know if they made him any better, but they're
Look,
trying.
on the East, I'll tell you the one team I think that made big moves, significant moves that I think are going to be a team to be reckoned with in the playoffs and a tough out even for a team like the Panthers are the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, you said it last episode. They had a lot of assets to trade.
They had a lot of
and get
assets to
things
trade,
done.
and they just needed to get some. They just needed to get a couple scores. They went out. They got the biggest name
They had
out
Wenzel?
there. In Gensel from the Penguins. They got him from their end essentially nothing.
Was
They
it
didn't give up.
Bunting?
They didn't even give up their best prospect
Was
for
it
it.
Bunting? I think they gave up.
They get actually. Hold on, I wrote it down here. They got actually. I didn't write it down. Just kidding.
I think it was Bunting. I could be wrong.
Computer guy. Who did Gensel get? Who did the Carolina Hurricanes
We'll come back to computer guy.
trade
We'll come back to
for
him.
Gensel?
But I think that's a really good pickup.
He's gonna probably end up playing on the Aho line, that first line with theirs. He's gonna be a stud. And then they picked up what's his name, Kuznetsov from Washington. Sure, maybe his prime is past him, but this guy,
It's experience.
proven stud,
Yeah.
proven winner,
They got
been on a cup team. This is a guy that he scores big goals, put in a new situation, fresh legs all of a sudden, new energy. These are the exact types of players that this team was looking for to go against a team like the Panthers. Last year, they lost the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes, they got swept by us, but
Yeah.
every game was 1-0, 2-1. They were super low scoring games, and this team has struggled to score goals for 3 years now. Haven't been able to get over the hump.
reminded me of
They're
that,
a good
It
team.
reminded me of that Panthers team like 2 years ago, where we were scoring monsters. But then
Yeah,
we
they've
came
been essentially
in
been
the
the
playoffs.
opposite of what the Panthers were a few years ago. A
Yeah.
team that can't get over the hump, that is just very deficient on one side of the puck.
Yeah.
Now, it looks like they got their scoring. I think they're going to be a problem.
You
And
got the Skip's got the
Gensel with a G.
Gensel for somebody from Pittsburgh, or they traded somebody from Pittsburgh.
They traded
We'll be back, computer guy. He's fired.
I forgot.
He's not going to make it to the next episode.
But they're actually, the Canes, their Stanley Cup odds went down to plus 900.
Avalanche did really well. They picked up Duheim, Middlestat, Trennan, and Walker on defense.
Yeah, but their biggest thing still is they didn't address goaltending, so I think that's going to be the huge thing for them.
They were
If their
talking about
goaltending can do it.
trading.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't.
I don't think there was anybody.
What they got, Matheson or something, they got that forward for the second line center is what they needed. So I still think though, as far from a betting perspective, if
No,
you're looking,
they're forward Middlestat.
Middlestat. That
Middlestat.
was the second line center. That was the position that they filled. That was their big move.
That was the big move to get the
big thing they needed was goaltending. They
Yeah.
didn't really fill that, but I still think they're
nasty.
What
They're still a
McKinnon
very
is
good team.
doing now. Did you see that McKinnon? I think he's going to end up winning MVP. But did you see? Unless McDavid comes out of nowhere, which he's starting to do,
Maybe Reinhardt comes back at the end.
McKinnon he's chasing a Gretzky record right now.
Is he?
He is, which would be, I think he scored a point in every single home game this season.
Wow,
If he does,
that's impressive.
just
That's an
what?
MVP.
There's maybe 10 home
Handful.
games left
Yeah.
in the season. 12 home games left.
I think there's 20. I think there's 21 games.
So you figure there's
yeah.
10 left. That's going to be pretty fun to watch to see if he can break that record. And if he does, even if he gets close, I think what he's doing since the All-Star break, guys in lock.
He's a shoo-in. Winnipeg Jets also loaded up. They got Sean Monahan, Miller, and
I don't
Toffoli.
think they're gonna look. The West is gonna be the playoffs in the West is gonna be a bloodbath. I think
the West is very tight.
The East is a little more top heavy, but I think the West, that's gonna be whoever comes out of it. It's gonna suck for whoever has to come out of the West to come in, and you got to play a team like
the Panthers,
or literally anyone. You get the Panthers, the Hurricanes, the Bruins, any of these three teams. If they make it, and you got to come out of the West and play those teams, oh baby. And on top of it, that means you. And if it's any other team besides Vegas, that means you got through Vegas. Listen, if Vegas makes it, if Vegas makes it through, if they're gonna make it would be a disaster if they don't make the playoffs. But if they just get into the playoffs and Mark Stone actually does come back from injured reserve, like fully healthy, they're going to have a team that's $15 million over the salary cap. $15 million over the salary cap in the NHL is like blowing the salary cap away in the NBA.
Yeah. I know. It's a lot because the NHL pays less. How long have the Vegas been around?
6 years.
6 years?
And
have they always been Stanley Cup
yes,
contenders from year one?
They went to the Cup their first year.
I know.
I think they did the Cup finals their first year.
That's wild.
Or their second year. They've been in the playoffs. I don't think they've missed the playoffs.
Are they just throwing money at them?
No, they just they've been very well run. They did very well in the expansion draft. The expansion drafts, they have a very good ownership group. They've been very aggressive. They haven't been afraid to spend money. Like they've just managed. Like they've done such a good job in that organization, and they're just, they're in the hunt every year. They're ready. Gotten one Stanley Cup. They lost. They won a cup, and now they are ready. They're just primed for another huge run. And they're at plus 1,100 right now. I think right now, obviously,
Steal.
Panthers are the favorites, but they are at this point. Panthers are plus 650.
Can you bet? Can you bet them as a Western Conference champion?
You could bet.
Is that a future
on Hard Rock? I don't know if they have it on Hard Rock, but on most sites you should be able to.
Yeah, that would be a great
pickup. I think as Vegas gets closer to the playoffs, I think that plus 1,100 number is going to go down. So if you're looking for a futures bet, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Speaking of futures, tonight on Thursday, Panthers play the Canes.
That's gonna be a fun one.
What do we think, man? I wouldn't join that one.
That's a huge one.
We'll bet it, but I wouldn't put a lot of money on it. That's other way. But
I'm betting it the same way. At this point, I bet the Panthers the same way. I bet a hammer money line. I also do Reinhart goal. I bet Reinhart and money line together. That's just what I do every week with the Panthers.
It's been working pretty well.
They've lost 14 games or 17 games or something like that.
So for 40 other games, you've been...
Yeah, like it's just been super profitable.
The Panthers are playing the Lightning after that. That's going to be rough, especially coming after a Hurricanes game.
Yeah, I understand that. But look, are you really worried about this team? We're so good. We're so deep.
No, I'm not worried at all.
Look what we did. Did you watch the game last night, the Dallas game?
I did not. It was wild, though. We came out in the third, right?
We're on the road against Dallas, another team that is set to make another run.
They did nothing, but they did nothing for the trade deadline.
Doesn't matter. They don't really need. I think they made a move.
I don't even know what move they made.
And then you have they were down 3-1, total dead in the water. We
looked stagnant.
Second half of the second period, kick it into gear, down 3-1 going into the third with some momentum. I think we caught a penalty at the beginning of the third period, and then after that, boom, just ran 4 goals in a row.
Yeah.
Well, really 3. It was 3-0, then we made it 3-1.
No, the Panthers.
And then we went to the third period, and then we scored 3 in a row.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the Panthers. I just think it's going to be like you're playing the Canes, then you're coming out, and you're going to play the Lightning.
Worried about it.
I would sit back on the Lightning. That's just me.
By the way, that win last night crushed it for me.
Oh, that's
crushed
it. That's pretty. Let's dive in to your favorite sport, buddy.
Oh, we got the Players Championship this week.
Let's talk into golf. We've got the Players, the 5th major, the crown jewel of the PGA.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop you right there. I don't think you can call it the 5th major anymore. You can't consider yourself even in major conversation at this point, just because if you don't have all the best players in the world, you're not even close to the top 4 events. The big 4 majors after the fracture in golf.
Okay. Okay.
are above the rest.
All right,
But
dude. All right,
even
all right.
then, the
We're in
players
the crown jewel of the PGA.
Players' Championship.
TPC.
with air quotes, deepest field. I guess we'll say deepest field on the PGA Tour because that's true. Not deepest field in the world
Yeah,
anymore.
it looks good, man. I think
Biggest purse.
I think this is gonna be fun. Obviously, Scotty coming in hot. That putter, the putter is zooming for a win. His putting has been atrocious this whole year, and then somehow, some way, last weekend, Scotty just woke up. That putter, the mallet putter, switched it up, went with the mallet, dominated.
He did, but the whole point I'm trying to make is I really think I want to know where he finished strokes gained putting because I don't think he finished. I think he was still middle of the pack with it. And
There's more there.
There's a lot more. Like I think that which has been the whole thing with him. He's
Tee to Green, the
number
best
one in
player.
the world.
Tee
This
to
guy
Green,
shows up
the last 5 years has Tiger Woods numbers.
dominant.
He's been
It's a joke.
very good.
If he putts, he's been like almost in last place putting.
Obviously, favorite to win the players.
I'm dying to know what he finished, like what his putting stats were at the Arnold Palmer this past week.
If we had a better computer guy, we
I
would
bet
have
you
been able-
it was
But our
somewhere
computer
in
guy
the-
currently is on his phone, not paying attention.
Yeah,
to
just here's my thing with Scotty though. There's never been a repeat winner
in the
ever
players.
at the no players as ever. We've had 2-time winners, but they've never
never in the
won.
same
No
year,
one's
back to
ever
back.
defended their title.
Yeah,
Okay. The other thing is Scotty is at +5. That's like he's +500 right now.
I wouldn't bet him, but I love him.
Okay, I don't understand. We said it last week. We didn't bet him. He ended up being a good bet because he won. So I know we say, "Oh, those odds aren't good." We weren't betting. They're good when you win. +650,
You always got to give something to him.
+500. Hey,
Number two is
here's next at +13. Look at the difference between the two. I don't like Rory this week.
yeah.
I just see this guy is just something's off with him. He is. I'm not a big Rory fan anyway, but I'll be the first. I respect his game. He's good. He is off right now. This guy is hitting some shots that you see like I hit shots that that I'm seeing him do like not good, not something from a top player in the world.
I love watching your shots.
Yeah,
if
but
it was my shots, it would be a different story. Now I have some guys here that I like.
Talk to me. I'll give you my takes on it. Let's do it. That'll be fun.
I'm gonna give you my list, and then you tell me if you like it or not.
Okay, let's do it. I like
I have
that.
Xander 25-1.
I hate Xander this week.
Why?
I just hasn't done anything all year. Hasn't been good. This is the classic course where everyone loves to love Xander, and he does nothing every time this happens. I don't see it with him this week. His game, he doesn't have the form coming in.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Max Homa,
Love Max Homa this week.
top 20 for sure.
I think last week he finished top 10. I think he backdoored a top 10 or just finished just outside.
He had eighth place. He finished last
Eighth
week.
place, hit the ball horrible, putted the pants off the ball, putted like a champ. So I'm thinking and it looks to me, I think he's struggling with his driver. Something's up with this guy and his driver. He's not striking it like last year. He was a machine. This year, I think that's part of the struggles you're seeing with him. So you have to drive it well at TPC. If he figures that out, he's built for this place.
Question about TPC. Just a quick little detour. TPC, very unforgiving if you don't miss the fairway. You have to be super accurate, right? It's almost a U.S. Open.
It's just it's an all around hard, like it's a true test of golf where you have to hit it straight. You have to be good on approach.
It's not so much about being long or being. It's about accurate. You just need to be very clean about your game.
This course test. It's a shot maker's course. You got to have every shot in the bag. You got to have great approach play. That's why I love Max Homa, another guy I love. I bet both of these guys all year.
Wait for it. We're doing my list. We're going my
I
list.
want to see if it's
You're
gonna be the
gonna
same guys you're going to say.
I have a few.
Okay.
I mean, he might be on here.
Okay, let's see.
I got Russell Henley, 40-1.
I
Georgia Bulldog
don't even have him
plays
on
on
my
Bermuda
list.
grass.
Don't even have him on my list. I don't hate it though.
Bro, he was in 4th place last week.
I don't hate it. He likes these tough setups.
I got another one.
Give it to me.
This guy was across the pond. Now he's living in Florida. Shane Lowry,
Oh, so I love me
42-1.
Shane Lowry. I have him as one of my favorite bets of the week for top 20. You get him.
All these guys, I feel like all these guys could be top 20.
You get him
Everyone
at
on my
plus-
list is at top 20.
Shane Lowry plus 185, top 20. I love that bet this week. Guy's been playing super well all week. He lives in Florida now. He's played super well on the entire Florida swing.
Yeah. I like it. Ready?
Yeah, give me the next one.
Adam Hadwin. 81 odds.
I don't know.
Top 20. Give me a top 20.
Sure.
Give me a top
It's a
20.
long shot for a top 20.
Ready?
Yeah.
Brendan Todd.
Man, you're throwing out deep nut guys here.
I want top 20. I want top 20s.
Okay, but
Okay.
there's some auto lock top 20s you can get at plus money.
JT. Justin Thomas.
He was the guy I was going to say before. I love me, Justin Thomas.
I think Justin Thomas has been very consistent the last
I have a thing.
four
I've
tournaments.
I've hammered him a lot.
He's not playing great, but I think
he's
he's
trending in the right.
10.
He's trending in the right way. I've bet him a ton this year. I'm going to keep betting him. I love him for this course just because he's a shot maker. We've seen him do it before. A couple years, was it 2 years ago when we had that weird players where it was like super windy and
the balls were going on the 17
everywhere, and it was nuts and whatever. JT played the most incredible round of golf. I shot like 200 that day when everyone was shooting like 80.
Yeah.
And it was the way the shots he hit, like his shot making, like you just saw. It was JT.
Yeah, I just think this is
Best form of him you can get. And this course brings that out of him. If he brings any form of that, great bet. I love him for. He's got good. I'd sprinkle some on him and Max Homa for overall winners, and I like him for top 20 and top 10.
I'm gonna throw.
But top 20, you get JT at plus 125. Anytime you get one of these big names in decent form at plus money, I think you got to hammer it.
Ricky. No.
I like Rick. I have
For
Ricky.
top 20.
I have Ricky. Actually, I didn't really put Ricky on my list this week just because his form hasn't been that great so far coming into this week.
I'll give you some. Verified. We never verified. Is he finally playing with Spieth and Justin in the first round?
Yeah, I think that's a feature group.
I feel like that's such a good vibe group. He's gonna come in hot. He's gonna make the cut.
I don't hate it, but to win,
I'm saying top 20.
yeah. I'll give you a couple names I really like this week though. Your boy Willie Z.
Willie Z.
Willie Z.
Hey, he played well.
Willie Z.
He's finally playing well.
That guy. He's been super hurt.
Yes.
He's back now though.
Played well last week.
Looking way ahead of
He
schedule.
just choked at the end there.
Yeah, but no one was even expecting this guy to be playing right now. Let me give you
Willie
some.
Z.
Let me give you some Willie Z bets here because Willie Z plus 3,000. I think that's too high for him. I think he's great.
All right, who else?
Love this. Probably my favorite top 10 bet is Willie Z at plus 300.
Take that all day.
I think, and you bet him. I would also bet him top 20 because I think what I wrote it down plus 135.
Oh, that's a great bet.
I think those are both amazing numbers to get him at. Hammer that. I also like Wyndham Clark. Probably my favorite.
Wyndham Clark's a great bet.
I like him as a
Top 10.
winner. No, I like him as a winner.
As a winner, what's he at as a winner?
Plus 5,000. He's 50. He's 50 to 1, and this guy's giving me a little bit of the young Brooks Koepka vibes, where he only shows up for the big tournaments. He's going out there with a little swag now. He's making some comments to the media, like it's not like he won the U.S. Open, and now he's got his chip on his shoulder. He feels like he can talk a little bit. And you're starting to see a little of Wyndham Clark. He's played really well last week again. For whatever reason, the books are not respecting how he's playing, and I think 50 to 1 is a crazy number for him.
All right, that's good to know. So yeah, this is Players Championship week. I think we have a bunch of good names there we could all put money on. You could sprinkle on, again, golf, sprinkle a little bit on everything. Because usually if you come out with a winner, you'll pay for all your bets.
Throw a little.
Sprinkle something.
I like the better names of top 10 and 20 because they're
10s and
locks,
20s, and then go pick two winners. Out of that list, pick two winners.
2 or 3 winners and
call it
fun.
a day.
Yeah. Have fun.
All right, everybody, we're here with Aug Da Dawg talking about college basketball. Aug, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. How's everyone else?
Look at this guy. You look
Hanging and banging, baby. Slapping tits, twisting clits, baby. Let's go, baby.
Oh,
Listen,
here
when
we
you're in the
go.
lab for as long as Augie is, things get weird.
Listen, he's been hot though.
Dude's
Dude,
hot.
you don't understand.
Last couple days.
One question.
Yeah.
One question. Has my video been on the podcast and like on YouTube the entire time?
No.
Oh no. Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, continue.
Why? What were you doing on the? What were you doing on the video?
Dude, I had a notebook that I was writing all the answers to all the golf questions, and then at the end I got so frustrated I literally put Aug Da Dawg for computer guy because off the top of my head I knew the answers to all of them.
We need a computer guy, and we need it desperate. We're
Yeah.
We're looking for a new one. Skippy has been hot garbage. Doesn't even know how to spell freaking Scotty Scheffler.
Came in hot with the basketball takes and then just
That's
can't
it.
do anything.
What else?
No
Getzel.
stats.
Getzel. Spread pretzel.
Scotty
Jeez.
said, I asked him to look up two fucking
Anyways,
things.
anyways,
and I still haven't gotten the answers to them.
But
No
anyways,
need to
let's get
talk
into
more
college
about
basketball.
it.
I'm not here to
No
talk
need-
shit about Skippy. You know what? He's here. We
Yeah,
showed up.
exactly,
We have a computer
exactly.
guy.
Yeah, good
It
point.
is what it is. Talk to me college basketball. What's going on?
So today I've seen a lot of futures, and I think the best futures that I've seen, and it goes to what a buddy of ours mentioned earlier in the year of putting money on Baylor Bears to win, to get to the Final Four.
Okay.
And I tailed it then, which was like back in November, and I was like, you know what, I love it. Let's go. And now I think that they're a huge dark horse to also win the Big 12. And I think they're at like, I know Florida's at. They're like 15. They're like 15-1 to win the Big 12,
12
conference, which is arguably the most competitive conference, or I think it is KenPom ratings, like the most competitive conference in college basketball. And I would say
this year for
second is
sure.
probably the SEC, but I love the Bears fucking juice that you're getting from the bet, and they're fucking good. The only other team that's nasty there is obviously Houston, but bro, they can take it.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
How are we supposed to take you seriously when you look like an idiot?
You look beautiful. Don't let him bring you down. Don't let him bring you down.
That's the point, baby. That's the
Don't let
point,
him
baby.
bring you
That's
down.
the point.
It's that he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He's not locked
You know
in
what's
like
your-
you are right now.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am. I've been telling all
You've
the
been tailing,
bets, man.
but you're tailing the dog pack, the lead.
You look incredible.
How else
Dude,
are we
it's great.
supposed to know where he is?
I
He's
did.
gotta
By
look
the
like
way,
that.
going back to your point, I did also put a futures on the Baylor Bears to win the tournament.
The Big 12.
No,
Oh yeah.
The Final Four.
No.
to win the national championship.
Oh, that's brave.
It
I
was ama-
was
bet
thinking
them. I took
Final
a
Four
future.
appearance.
I took
not
a future.
full-
I took a future on them to make the Final Four, and to win the Natty.
Oh wow.
I saw a future for UConn,
Yeah.
but I
Nice,
haven't heard
nice,
anyone talk
nice.
about them winning the conference tournament. You think they can win the? So you're big on them in the Big 12?
Yeah, why not? Because there's enough juice in the bet. Futures, you're just looking for value, right? So typically the top three in terms of winning are still in the minus or whatever. And then you look past that, and the Baylor Bears are like over 10-1, and in some areas better than that. Dude, they're easily top two. They're probably the number 2 team in the Big 12 because Kansas right now is all fucked up. Sorry,
Kansas is
excuse
all
my
injured.
French.
Yeah, they have a lot of injuries.
They're a disaster right now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Big 12 is competitive as hell, but man, Baylor's have they can give it to Houston. And Houston, it's not like they've crushed them. It's just they're like the team that gets the last point of the game to win it every time. Baylor can. It's going to be the third time they play each other if they do get each other in the championship, and then we'll see what happens in the national championship or in the NCAA tournament. But dude, look into futures Big 12 championship or champions Baylor Bears. Put
Very
it on
cool.
it.
I love that take. The Big 12 it's what you're saying. Everybody there is nasty. So to me, to pick somebody out of the Big 12, that's a tricky one. But I do Baylor. I do that pick a lot.
I'm gonna have to jump on that.
Yeah. Look, the
Dog,
Big
give us
12
another
has
one.
a-
Who else? Who,
Doggy,
give me
yeah.
another one you like.
All right, so if we're going to move conferences, let's go to the SEC. The SEC, like I said earlier, probably the number 2 conference. ACC's
So
been down
good.
this year.
They're so good
Pac-12
this year.
is honestly trash. Like the Big Ten, and the Big Ten, other than Purdue, they're a huge disappointment. Ain't nobody coming out of the Big Ten other than Purdue. So SEC has been fucking awesome. Like super competitive, top to bottom. The worst teams are like Vanderbilt and Missouri, but honestly, every other team is extremely good. My pick to win the SEC, that you have a lot of juice in it, and I'm sure some of us are gonna hate it, but the Gators at 20-1 to win the. Someone's got to win it there.
We don't.
Someone
We
has
don't
to win
talk
it.
Gator. We don't talk Gator sports on this pod.
That's fine. That's
Shut
fine.
your mouth.
That's fine. But like, I'm just saying, it's a nice pick. And if you really want a flyer, Georgia.
There we go. Bulldogs.
Yeah, the
No,
Dogs
sorry,
have a
I
solid
cut you off a
pick.
little bit there. What do you have?
Gators are a good pick.
What do you have? The
Gators
Gators. I think. What'd you say? They're 20-1 right now.
20-1, so plus 2,000.
And you think?
I'm not
Am
sure where
I
the
crazy?
lines
Did
at. I haven't
Alabama
looked at
beat
it
Gators in the
in the last
season?
like 2 or 3 hours, but at least like at noon today, it was at 20. They beat the shit out of them. And at the end of the year, they went to Alabama and like they beat them the same way Bama lost to Kentucky at the end of the year. It's the same way Bama beat up on the Gators. But the Gators are solid, man. They've got enough big guys on the backcourt, and dude, they're good. They're really good.
Okay. I love that. So you were talking about the Big Ten earlier. You're saying Purdue's obviously the favorite to win. You don't think that Illinois could take them down at plus 275? That bet?
Dude, there's a guy in Illinois that I like a lot. He's like a 5th-year senior. I forgot where he transferred from, but no, dude, I think it takes a lot to take Edey this year at least out of a game.
The way I have it, I
like,
have the Big Ten, I have them going probably against Ohio, Iowa, Nebraska. They beat all those guys. So then I'm thinking it might be Illinois, Purdue right at the end.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. It's probably going to be that.
What does Purdue
it should
care
be
about
that.
this
How about
freaking
this?
tournament?
It should be that. It should be that.
Yeah, and I'm saying like, what does Purdue get from winning nothing from the Big Ten? They get nothing from.
They're Big Ten champions, and they want to make sure
They're trying to.
and they want to make sure they get the number 1 overall seed too.
Yeah,
they
but
don't
they're
want
trying to
leave
stay
anything
safe.
chance.
They're trying to stay safe. They're trying to stay healthy too. These guys.
They're hoping if they make it to the finals, they'll still get a number 1 seed, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
if they don't make the finals, they may drop down to a 2. But like, they're out, dude. Remember they lost in the first round last year. I think Princeton.
Yeah, in Illinois,
and they've had a good program going.
Illinois took it to them earlier in the year when they played. I think they only lost by 4 points or something, like 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, but that's my thing. I don't think Purdue, they're going to be like taking any nights off now. Remember, last year, Augie just said it. They lost in the first round. That was a huge upset.
That's why I'm thinking they're not going to want to. They're not going to want
their
players.
I think it's the opposite. I think this year they're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to come in and they're going to be they're going to try and be focused on every game. They're going to want no days off, no breaks. Because last year they probably went in there with the same mentality. Oh, here we go, first round, maybe not a big deal. Boom, smacked in the mouth, gone.
Yeah, but I'm thinking they get into the finals. They stay with the 1 seed. They don't. Them losing in the finals in the Big Ten isn't going to take them off the 1
I don't know.
seed.
I don't think these college teams do a lot of that.
If they make it to the Big Ten championship, they'll keep their 1 seed.
They'll keep their 1 seed if they make it to the finals.
I would say so. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Talk to me about the ACC. They've been they're always a big. The ACC is always a big deal conference, and they've been a bust this year.
So you obviously have 1, 2, 2, 1, however you want to put it. It's either or. Any given day, they can probably beat each other. The Duke and the UNC is back. Last year was an off year for the ACC in terms of the big names. Those two guys, they didn't have the best years last year, and they definitely bounced back. But I think the ACC has also been like Virginia, who's number 4, and I think it's Pittsburgh, who Pittsburgh has been trashed until this year. Good on them and good for them for having good seasons. But to be honest with you, anyone can beat those guys. And I think at the end of the day, no one's going to give a challenge. So I like Wake Forest, and that's about it. They had a pretty tough game today. But yeah, the ACC has been down this year. It's just, and it really has nothing to do with Miami, just in general. There are teams that I like.
Well, that's what I was saying.
The entire ACC has been weak.
You've seen a lot of big teams. They're usually basketball, pretty decent.
I mean, look,
basketball schools.
Clemson came into the year ranked 16, and they were like ranked 16 for the first 4 weeks, and I think we beat them. And then all of a sudden they got down to the 20s, and then dude, they finished their conference. Their conference record's 11-9, like, and they haven't been back into the top 25. Like, and they're good, they're fine, but I'm not impressed by anybody. I am impressed by Wake Forest.
I was about to ask you about Wake
lost on
Forest.
the road.
I was going to ask you, what do you think about Wake Forest? Are they going to make the tournament? They're a big bubble team.
They won today, so they're going to move forward. We'll see who they play next. But yeah, I like them, and I think they play Pittsburgh or Virginia in the next matchup, and I like them over either of those two opponents. Like, the top 4 in the ACC goes UNC, Duke, Virginia, Pittsburgh, right? So basically the likes of guys like, I think it's like Clemson, Syracuse, Wake Forest, Virginia. Like Florida State's going to be playing one of those guys. I like Florida State actually better than Pittsburgh or Virginia. I forget if Florida State's next round against either of those two, but I may take a freaking like just for plus money or whatever, like the plus money line, like Florida State to beat either Virginia. Virginia still has their nice little defense, but they're not great. And Pittsburgh, like whatever.
So, do you think Wake Forest makes the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think so. I think they get into the semis and they get in,
They get deep.
and they're in the bubble instead of out of the bubble.
How far do you think they have to go in the ACC tournament to really?
They got to win one more game to get to the semis. They got to win one more game.
So you think they have to make it to at least the semis if they want a chance to make?
I think they make it to the semis and they'll get it. They'll get it.
They'll guarantee them a spot.
I think they could be a lot of.
I think any
ACC
team in the semis in the ACC gets a spot.
I think that's
one
one ACC team that if they make the first.
I think it's all going to be based on the tournament. Sorry if I'm interrupting. I think the ACC is going to get at least 4 guys in, and it's all going to be based on their conference tournament results. I think the ACC season results, they're not going to matter, and the ACC usually puts in 6 to 7. It's super off here. I think it's only going to be 4 from this conference because there's other conferences like the WCC, who's typically just Gonzaga. All of a sudden, they have 4 guys that are on. Obviously, Gonzaga, St. Mary's are in. Yeah. But San Francisco and Santa Clara, they could honestly, they were all in the semis in that conference, and that was a pretty damn good conference. 2 ranked teams the entire year. Holy crap. They may get 4 guys also. So it's a very competitive market right now in terms of who's getting into the NCAA tournament and who isn't.
Is St. Mary's ahead of Gonzaga right now?
Yeah, they just won the WCC.
They just won. They're coming as a higher seed.
Yeah, and they were the higher seed the entire year, but at the end of the season, in terms of the regular season, Gonzaga beat them, and handedly. Gonzaga was getting real hot. That's why, like, that Gonzaga money last night, Kev, looked really nice. And guess what happened?
But
St. Mary's got their revenge, and they
St.
took
Mary's
back the
came in.
crown for the year. Because all year long, St. Mary's was running that conference and running that league.
Yeah.
Augie, you've been giving us a lot of picks this week. We were posting all of them.
Guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram, on TikTok. What's the other place where I post? On Twitter. All those are Aug Da Dawg and Chucky Hoops.
Yeah,
Chucky Hoops isn't here today, but Aug Da Dawg
Yeah,
is killing
we're
it.
gonna have Chucky Hoops on the pod also. But what's your record with these picks that we've been posting? Have you kept track by any
Don't
chance?
ask him.
Got to, like,
I just want to
honestly,
know.
it's.
I know the last couple
I know
days.
it's plus money.
Yeah, but and I know yesterday we had multiple brutal beats by a point.
Yeah.
By like a point.
Gonzaga
But I'm
was
just
a big
curious. So you've given us probably 30 picks in the last week.
So don't forget, I went 6-0 day one,
Big
which
time.
is Friday.
Big win.
That was
And
huge.
then
That
I
was
went
a lot of
4
fun.
and 1.
Lot of
And I
fun.
went 4 and 1 on Saturday. So that was 10 and one. And then Sunday I had like my first bad day where I went 2 and 3. And then yesterday, Monday, I went 1 and 4. So add
1 and
those
4
up.
with it was a brutal 1 and 4.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't blame
yeah.
yourself.
We had 3 of those 1 and 4s. We lost by like a point.
Not yesterday. Sorry, Monday. So 1 and 4. So I think I was like 13 and 8 on Monday, and then yesterday I went 4 and 2.
And today you're gonna be tonight you're gonna be 5-0. So it's not a big deal.
No way am I 5 and 0. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. We have no idea.
You never know.
Yeah, baby, pray,
You
baby,
never
pray.
know.
Hell yeah.
I was looking at my stats. So
We got
obviously this is
almost
when
all
I
my
get.
picks, I'm pretty sure, are after 6:30.
I've been keeping track of my college bets because I've basically been betting for a week, college basketball. Out of in a week, I made 20 college basketball bets
Jeez.
in 5 days.
Jeez.
No big deal.
Not a big deal.
I made 10 for 20, 500, exactly 500.
I'm
I'm
at
bad,
net
though.
0.
Net $0. But
Net
you know
$0.
what? We're
It's
just
for
getting
the
warmed up.
excitement. Hey, that's a
Listen,
win, dude. That's a win.
listen. We're practicing. We're getting warm.
Listen, if you're
All
not
right?
losing,
Exactly.
you're
I'm
winning,
trying
baby.
out.
Exactly.
I'm taking a few. I'm taking a few of the dogs picks. I'm going a little Chucky
Oh, yeah.
Hoops.
Oh, yeah.
I'm rotating every
You gotta
night.
do-
I'm taking
you're
a
doing
little
little Chucky dog,
one,
little Chucky dog.
Chucky dog. Last night,
You're also figuring it out for yourself. You're figuring it out for yourself. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly.
you're
I'm just
like,
getting
okay, like this is kind of
seeing
working.
what I like because
You're like you're educating yourself, if you will. You're learning.
Next week, once the tournament gets going, that's when we're gonna get real dirty.
Next week is when it starts. Selection Sunday is coming.
Oh, we're gonna do a nice. Can we tease it?
Selection Sunday. Tease all you want, brother.
We're gonna have a phenomenal selection Sunday. We're gonna do our first special show. We're gonna get the dog. We're gonna get the dog. We're not gonna go live because the dog's a huge liability live. Nobody trusts that.
We want to go live.
Just
We wanna
not
go
gonna
live,
do that.
but
We wanted to go live,
the
but
dog
that's
holds
just
us back. We're chaining the dog.
we will get canceled before we hit 10 episodes.
Listen, but the dog.
me tell you,
the dog looks today.
He
Look
looks
at him.
great. He looks
My
phenomenal.
people want me to go live. Everyone
We all want him live.
wants me to go
Bring-
live. You know,
Unleash the dog. Unleash
They're
the
open
dog.
for live.
Unleash the
we
dog.
can unleash him, and it'll just be our last show on YouTube.
That's fine. It is what it is. Dude, we'll take it. I'll take that risk. I'll take that risk to let the dog breathe. Sometimes you gotta walk the dog off the
Hey, but
leash,
don't forget,
bro.
don't forget.
It's gonna be a fun show though. We're
I'm
gonna
throwing
get
this out
a
here.
lot of fun.
Selection Sunday. We're gonna get into all the picks.
A lot of picks. We're gonna be talking brackets. We're gonna set up an official first step bracket. Make sure you tails throw it on there. It's gonna be fun. Any other big games? Any big tournaments that we should keep an eye out that we haven't talked about yet?
No, I think that's about it. Just to close out, the Pac-12 is.
Hot
I wouldn't worry about the Pac-12 this year. The ACC may provide somebody. But I guess one conference and one pick that I actually do love is USF. I think it's for the American Athletic Conference.
Sure.
They have FAU, who brought us the Thunder last year in that same conference, but USF looks a lot better. So, yeah, that's where we're going to end it. And here comes my dad looking at me like an idiot. So
Is
I'm gonna
he
go
judging?
fuck
Is he
off.
judging you hard, son?
Oh, big time. He's like, what the fuck you been
Don't
doing
worry.
all
It'll be Thursday. What can you give us your? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Off the
Immortal
top of your
locks.
head, what's your favorite pick? I know you haven't run all the numbers for tomorrow yet, and you haven't given us your picks for
Run that
tomorrow.
doggy brain.
Oh, no, but there's still so much to be determined today. You guys don't understand. Like,
I understand a
there's
lot of it,
bunch-
but of the
there-
games that have already been decided, is there anything you're seeing that you like?
No, nothing, honestly. Of all the games that have happened today, everyone's irrelevant. I think,
Okay.
other than
I'll take
maybe
that.
Wake Forest. But
Listen, we
seriously.
don't like wasting
And
money
Wake Forest was given a good game against Notre Dame, too.
That's fine. Don't worry. We're gonna post your pics. We're gonna post your pics on all our socials anyway, so everybody will be able to tell.
Aug Da Dawg, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it for coming out, for helping us out with the college basketball, man.
Sounds good, boys. See you later.
Thank you. All right, guys. So that was Aug Da Dawg. He's here for us. He's our college basketball insider, getting us all the information that we need to make sure that we're placing the right bets, the right time, on the right teams. Hav, you have anything else to say?
It was a good show.
Great show.
Quick update on my Masters future odds. Give everybody
I'm just kidding. Masters
every
picks. Give it
week.
to me.
I give everybody updates
Give
on
me
any
your
line
Masters
movements.
update. Give me your
The only line movement really that I saw was Brooks to plus 1600. So bet him again.
All right, everybody. That's it. That's all we got for you today. Thank you so much. Make sure you follow and subscribe on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you so much.
See you boys next week.
How do you spell Scheffler?
You've been listening to First Step.
We told you we don't take this too seriously, didn't we? I'd say we've proven that. Yes, we love sports, and we love sports betting. But we like the funner side, not the stuffy side. We hope you had a blast like we did. If so, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Instagram and TikTok at First Step Bets.
See you next time on First Step.